Hey art friends, and welcome back to the Mandakyns Channel. Today we'll be learning how to make fabric from scraps. You will need heat and bond sewable interfacing. This is an iron-on adhesive and it comes in 5 1/4 yards, so there's quite a bit of it. I've cut off about a 7-inch strip. These are the scraps of fabric that I'll be using. They're literally shreds that come from my serger. Now I have cut this into a square. It doesn't matter how large it is, but you'll be able to tell which side that you need to begin applying the scraps to because it's bumpy and slightly raised, and that's the side that we'll want to begin working on first. I'm using these weights and an iron, and I'll go ahead and turn that on. Now what I'll do is I'll arrange the scraps the way that I would like them to be. You can have them go any direction that you want. In this case, I'm going straight across. And some people will use tulle. It's a very lightweight knit fabric to apply over the top of and then sew on however that would remain in it. But it does do a really good job about keeping all of the little scraps tagged down so that none of them will come up. But we're just going to free motion sew over all of these scraps. Once I have my scraps placed the way that I would like them to be, I'm using a piece of baking paper to place over all the scraps to keep them flat, and then I'm using the iron on a steam setting to press this to the heat and bond in order to adhere it. Once that's done, I'm going to flip it over and remove the backing, which will leave the heat and bond on the fabric that we've just created. It looks kind of shiny and plasticky. Okay, and so I do have some scraps that are kind of hanging off. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip that over and I'm going to place strips and blocks of fabric along the back in any way that I want. Once I have those placed where I would like them to be, then I use my iron to press that. Now I'm going over to my machine with the free motion foot, and there's a darning plate that is covering the feed dogs. So if you have any questions about how to switch your machine to the free motion arm, please watch my video on that subject. And I do apologize because my camera is vibrating. And here I'm just tacking down all the ends. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. I'm just sewing a straight line. Begin free motion sewing. And this is essentially like I'm drawing with the needle and the thread is my ink. And so I just can go anywhere on the fabric that I like. So you can make whatever designs or patterns that you want to, swirls, leaves, flowers, or you can just doodle. And that's kind of what I'm doing here. And again, there's a lot of vibration, and you just have to be careful in the event that any of your strips come over the top of your free motion foot. Sometimes that'll cause you to get snagged. Use my scissors to correct that. I just snip the fabric and then retack it down. Moving the fabric around, ensuring that all of these strips of fabric are sewn and tacked down. You could probably make a lovely scrappy quilt. If you wanted to do something of that nature, I would suggest perhaps like a fusible fleece interfacing. That'll give you some extra loft. And voila, we have our new fabric created from scraps, and it's absolutely beautiful. So I'm just trimming up my edges here just a little. And then I trim my ends, and here's the finished product. I hope you guys liked the tutorial. If you found this content helpful, please give us a like and make sure to smash the notification bell so that you don't miss any of our videos. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to our video next week. Happy arting!